And away we go. Are we live? Can you see us? Can you hear us? See me, hear me, touch me, feel me? That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. No.
Why do you start like
No.
that?
Nobody gets it. Nobody understands what I'm talking about.
Hey, K Munin. Johnny, how are you?
Yeah, Johnny's here.
Hey, Brian.
I happen to know that Johnny got a really, really good deal at an antique mall.
I don't know if he wants you to spread that to the world. Hey, Reynard.
Strike that from the record. Okay, strike that from the record. The jury will ignore that last comment.
Yes, I am back.
Stone Sour's here.
Yeah, so hope everyone had a very uneventful week. Mm-hmm. And if it was eventful, that it wasn't too bad. Hey, David. I had a very eventful week. I had to go out of town, but it wasn't bad. Mm-hmm. Actually got a lot of things accomplished and stuff like that. But for you, I hope that you had an uneventful week. Again, if it was eventful, that the events were good. No, David, I don't want to
No,
feel
because of what I said.
Oh, yeah.
But Richard got it. He says the Tommy from The Who. That's right. The deaf, dumb, and blind kid.
Sure plays a mean pinball.
That's right. Yeah, and Johnny says it's okay. Did I see? Yes, I did see the post. I commented on that post. He found a...
Oh, let me show you what he found. I'll show you one of the things that he found. While we continue to say hello and everything.
Yep, and I see K Munin wearing a Yukio E sweater. Yeah. And Richard is in Yonkers. Yeah, we're doing all right. That's what he found.
This is what Johnny found. The
talking alarm clock.
Yeah, and he found the radio.
Yeah, the Big Bird radio sitting on the nest.
Yeah.
At an antique mall. He got a decent price for that too.
So I actually have two of these. I bought one on eBay and the lamppost was broken. I ain't pay a lot.
She didn't realize.
Yeah. And then I found another one, I think cheaper. This one.
Yeah.
Cheaper and is intact. So no broken parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a neat old vintage piece there from Bradley Electronics, right? I think Bradley made those clocks and stuff. And Gilgamesh is here.
Hey, Gilgamesh.
And Wolf's Funhouse. He says, I was once a man called William Randall. Wait, I still am.
Randall.
Oh, changed his name.
He was once a man named William.
Yeah, now he's a wolf. He's the werewolf of London. And Blue Splash said he found Cops and Crooks figures for cheaper.
Wow, where'd you find that cheap?
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
I only have like four carded
cards.
figures and 3 vehicles that are sealed. And for some reason, a lot of the vehicles, except for the big ones, but the smaller vehicles aren't that expensive.
Hey, Pastor Rick.
Joining us today.
How are you?
So, yeah, there you are.
And then we got
Shao Kahn.
Hello there.
Calm before the storm.
Yeah, it's a state of emergency here in Georgia because they're expecting really bad storms. I think some tornadoes and some heavy rain and stuff. So all I found this week was a mega something X.
Charizard X figure at Target.
Yeah, Target.
You need to get that Charizard Cheeto. And Johnny said you can find good deals at antique stores. Yeah. They wanted 115. I talked them down to 100. Yeah, sometimes. Most of the time it's ridiculous. But and Blue Splash said they're loose figures. Still, I mean, if that's what you collect, that's what you collect.
Yeah, if you like loose figures, hey, knock it out.
But yeah, I mean, you can sometimes you find stuff at an antique store that'll surprise you.
Laugh at Richard. We was actually listening to Werewolf of London today. It came on, and just the words of the song, like how it starts off when they're in Soho.
He's walking in the rain carrying a menu from a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, and then it's talking about like eating ramen noodles and Lon Chaney and Lon Chaney's son.
Chow mein noodles.
Yeah, chow mein noodles.
Lon Chaney. And Lon Chaney Jr.
It's a funny song, but it makes absolutely no sense. But it's a fun song.
Yeah.
But when you listen to the words, it's just ridiculous.
The clock in the box, that clock will run you around 150. So that was a really good deal.
What clock?
That Sesame Street clock. You can pull 150 for that clock in the box if it's working.
I don't know if it worked. I never tried.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Museum will keep us safe. The
Hey,
Aura.
Action Joe Figs. How are
Action Joe
you?
Figures is joining us. And
Pastor Rick gave $8.
Something for the kiddie pool. Much appreciated. Of course, he means our feline friends that we take care of. We were...
He didn't get that wooden...
There was a rocking horse there that was $1,400. He was telling me. He said he showed me a little video clip. Some antique rocking horse. The tail was probably real horsehair on that thing, because that's how they used to do that back in the days. I know you were tempted to jump on that thing, but you know, there's a lot of cameras in the antique store, although they're not watching any of them, but they're there.
If you pick up something and slip it in your pocket, they saw you.
Yeah, maybe. Saturday Morning Fan found a He-Man lunchbox for $20 at the thrift store.
Wow.
That's neat.
Did it have the thermos? That's cool.
Yeah. Richard says, Bark at the Moon, Ozzy Osbourne. That's a good song.
I don't think I know that one.
You don't know that one?
I don't think so.
You'd have to hear it.
Yeah.
And Action Joe said he's doing well, got back from taking grandkids to Disney World.
Ooh, I know you paid a fortune.
Ow. T. Stewart, birthday is Halloween. I play that song all day. They hate it. What's wrong with you? You play that song all day and irritate everybody.
Put it on a loop, on repeat.
It could be worse. It could be the dogs Jingle Bells. You know that one where they bark.
Were they barking it out?
They bark Jingle Bells.
I think I heard that once and didn't listen to the whole thing.
Because it's just dogs barking Jingle Bells.
Oh,
you know the one.
Yeah, I know the one. I know the one, but I'm just saying that I heard it and I didn't hear the whole thing because it was just ridiculous. Oh, he didn't get that's all right.
Thermos. That's all right.
Sometimes you can find it cheap on eBay.
Yeah. Unit says you might try finding something at Target. Con exclusives tomorrow. Sonic Pop is the only thing I want. Oh, he's buying a pop.
Walmart got the Walmart Con. I don't know what's at the Walmart Con, if they're doing something special.
Yeah,
but I saw that, and I'm like, I didn't hear anything about it. You know, I'm sure they're gonna have some exclusive, but I never seen it.
Wolfie's Funhouse says that he changed the name because he's turned it into an actual channel with actual videos.
Oh, so got 9 so far.
So if anybody wants to check that out, that's Wolfie's Funhouse.
Okay,
you can take a look.
So go over to Wolfie's. Give him a like and a subscribe. Say, hey, how you doing?
Show him a little love.
Yeah. Hold on, I got to write it down.
Wolfie's Fun, not Pee-wee's Funhouse.
Wolfie's.
Wolfie's Funhouse. Not Weird Al Yankovic's or Weird Al's place. Because he also had a Saturday morning live action.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That was just like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Pee-wee's kind of funny, especially that word of the day.
Weird Al had better guests, so although not if you count the Christmas special, because the Christmas special was insane with how many guests they had, although a kid probably wouldn't recognize half of them. No, even in the 90s, no kid would know who Annette Funicello was. I'm sorry.
Ashton Joe took the time out to visit the Marvel store to look for the Marvel, the Mego 4-pack.
Yep.
So
that's because all the Mego collectors bought 10 each. You know what they did? Yeah. I gotta put it away. That's my retirement.
Oh wow! For $10 carded.
Okay,
that's pretty good. I want to make an intro, but not sure how. I don't know how to add words or music.
I see.
Yeah.
And Johnny said he got a VHS tape of Snow White 87. I didn't know there was an 87 film.
There was a live
action. The girl looks pretty white on the box, just saying. Okay. And Saturday Morning said He-Man Secret of the Sword 40 weeks ago. Care Bears movies 40th March 29. Rainbow Bright movie is 40 now.
Rainbow Bright had a movie?
Initially, you know, the special. Oh, they break it up into 5 segments.
Yeah. They did it. Oh no,
I don't know that one.
Oh no.
Noonan says Walmart Con has anything around me. I go into the figure section only to find empty candy wrappers. We don't go up the aisles anymore. We got away from that. I did go into the Walmart's DVD aisle.
Okay.
I will look there occasionally. What I specifically was looking for was only because of the irony of it. from what I understand is some of you might be old enough to remember Faces of Death. It was on VHS, and it was supposed to be film footage of actual people dying or being killed, which, spoiler alert, the majority of that footage was faked. Sorry. And I was like, but they made the box set, 4 DVD box set is supposed to be available in Walmart. Okay, because they got the rights to it. And I think it's just the irony of that being you can't sell it on eBay or Amazon, even though it's, again, fake. eBay and Amazon consider it prohibited. And even if there is a listing, you can't buy it. So, so for some reason, Walmart, no problem. Let's throw it in the aisle.
Also hitting 40 says Saturday morning fan. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Ewoks 2, Back to the Future, Teen Wolf, Goonies, Real Genius, Thundercats show. Is that the stage, the ice ring?
No, he's talking about the
cartoon. Yeah. Popple's show. Oh, okay. Wow, 40 years. Walmart con stuff was...
Blue Splash doesn't want to bother. And Action says, thanks for the shout out for the channel. It's over 300 subs now.
Wow, good job. Good. So, oh yeah, we forgot to say, Action Joe Figs has a channel. Make sure you check it out.
Yeah.
I'm scared for you. What if your clock doesn't work? Let's check it live right now. No, because I don't care if it works or not. But that's not why I bought it.
We know that it does.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. We tested it before. This is what she was talking about.
I didn't know we checked it.
Funny how I know where everything automatically is.
No.
This is what she thought she was talking about. And this is the Thundercats live. And I had actually done a video of this. I did a video showcasing this.
Hold on, I'm gonna come back to you Saturday morning.
This is fun though. But this is the playbill from the 1987 live action Thundercats musical.
Thundercats on ice.
On ice. With their friends, the Silverhawks, the SWAT Cats, and of course Gumby and Pokey, because why not?
They weren't in the Thundercats universe.
Yeah. You see Gumby and Pokey right here.
Plus, Gumby is like from the 50s or 60s or something.
He was still around. And then there's an ad for Silverhawks on the back of this, including the vehicle. I don't think they ever made that. But the photographs in here, because again, it is live action. This is hilarious. I don't know. Would anyone like to see this?
Just show the thing.
I'm getting to it. Let me see if I could just catch up a couple more. Saturday morning said Rainbow Bright big screen movie. Okay. Dr. Smith from Lost in Space doing one of the bad guy voices. He also that actor also did voice work for Visionaries. Gilgamesh saw the Faces of Death movie back in the day. There was also Traces of Death. Yeah, wow. And there's 4 altogether, and Walmart's supposed to be selling the box set.
On my phone that can. Wolfie said he was able to find a clamp for his phone that connects to a tripod. So now I can go hands-free. That makes things a lot easier.
Sure does.
Yeah, it does.
Richard, 1987 version of Snow White had Diana Rigg, who was Miss Peel on the Avengers as the evil queen in the film.
Oh, okay.
Blue Splash says, I'm getting slowly away from modern and jumping into vintage figures. Yeah. I don't blame you.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. I did some cleaning and changing some things around today. And I was like, man.
And T. Stewart has joined us as well.
Life works at Disney. People got their $1,000 magic tickets revoked buying the... Ooh.
Really? Wolfie started the channel 2 weeks ago.
I made 3 videos today.
Yeah, Gumby on Ice. That's right.
Hey, Custom God. Awesome. How are you?
We catch up a little bit here.
It's Gumby and Pokey at the collectible
They brought it back. They've brought it back again. But it comes and goes.
Eric.
There's a lot of incarnations.
Oh wow, he saw that show as a kid. We're gonna show the thing. We'll catch up because
it was expensive. He said it was expensive. But looking through this playbill, which good luck ever finding this. Here are the you wanted to see Thundercats live? There they are. I feel bad for the actor who has to play Snarf and roll around on the floor.
It probably was either a kid or a midget or just a short person.
It ain't no kid. Look at the size of those legs. That's a girl in that costume, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know they have some close-ups. These are horrendous costumes.
Yeah, they
when
look
you see
bad.
them up close.
Are they on ice or roller skates?
They have roller skates.
Okay, so it's roller skates, so it's not ice rink.
There's Lionel.
Oh gosh, he looks awful.
Look at that wig. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Yeah, this is why a lot of stuff does not translate to live action.
Right. That's there. Why you need to leave some stuff alone.
There's the action pose. Action pose. Poor Snarf. His face doesn't move. It's just a headpiece.
Oh, wow.
It gets worse. It gets worse. But again, I did a whole video showcase on this catalog, and you can see some close-up pictures. Oh my God. Anyway.
Yeah, Eric still has the program somewhere. Wow. I remember my mom being pissed because it was so expensive.
These programs are valuable because there's hardly any left. Saturday morning said, Street Frogs and Karate Cat in Thundercats Live. Almost as crazy as Looney Tunes and DC Comics team up stage show in the 70s.
They had a Looney Tunes.
They did all that stuff. I saw
stage show.
I took one of my kids to see Sesame Street live. You should have seen that mess.
Egon and Boogeyman just can't. Yeah, I know the
Oh, there's retro style.
Retro style. Well, let's let David finish showing his thing.
Mark Franco
and
is here
then we'll talk about all that. So we'll come back.
We do try to say hello to everybody.
Yeah.
But I'll show you here. Here's your close-ups.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to that, David.
There's your close-up of Snarf, although for some reason Snarf can stand now.
Yeah. Well, he can't stay crouched.
This is my favorite. Down. This is my favorite. Look at poor Panthro.
Why is his head so big?
It's a helmet.
With them gigantic
with the giant ears. There is Chitara, who looks like she's from Eastern Europe, actually. How's the glare on that? I'm trying to make sure.
No, it's pretty good.
Because I can't see from this angle.
Yeah, I can see now. I can't because you blocked the camera.
And then there's Tigra with that's a massive freaking headpiece. That looks insane. But doesn't she look like she's from Eastern Europe and she's going to have like a really thick Polish accent? These suits have got to be freaking hot.
Yeah.
These have got to be hot. But yeah, I never saw this, but I have obviously the catalog. Oh, and the Silverhawks. Joined by the Silverhawks. I love, just put a headpiece on and the big foam rubber muscle. This is what it's all about, folks. And they had roller skates and motorcycles and stuff. And they were flying all over the stage. At least he only has to wear a big cowboy hat. He doesn't have to wear a helmet.
Hey,
that
Mark.
one guy, Mark Franco. And as I promised, here is Gumby, Pokey, and the SWAT Cats. See? And there's your frogs, too. You mention a frog. There's one of them. The whatever the battle frogs are, I forget. And you can see there that Gumby and Pokey are, in fact, on roller skates. You can actually see the roller skates. And there's not two people inside Pokey, by the way. It's just one guy up front. And the back of him just kind of drags. It's the truth.
Actually,
street frogs. There it is. It says it right there. Street frogs.
And tiger sharks. Yeah, the scalpers on eBay
are ridiculous.
The prices. Yeah. I've heard that. Okay, let me get this out the way.
You're fine.
Yeah, we will. Well, I've got to be able to see.
Gumby and Pokey. And there's your street frogs. That looks so bad. Incredible. Oh, that looks like Gem and the Holograms.
This was after He-Man and She-Ra. Oh, yeah, tour. He-Man had, everybody had a tour.
They all did this stuff.
Is the address listed with P.O. Box correct? I'll send y'all some goodies.
It's the one it says 426, box number 426 in Conyers. That should be it. This is ridiculous.
That's the cat, Karate Cat.
Yeah. He's lean, he's mean, a karate machine, master detective, feline karate cat, it says. Some more shots there. Could you imagine? I wonder what this playbill cost. Yeah, you know they charge a fortune for that junk. And then here, yeah, they got a bunch of people on roller skates, and they got like up on stage, and you see the guys fighting the SWAT cats or karate cats or whatever. And then down here, more people on skates. There's people jumping on, doing jumps and motorcycles. The Silverhawks are riding dirt bikes down there.
Wow.
Yeah, they had a lot going on. And then you see this other guy. This poor guy is hanging from the ceiling on wires. Gilgamesh wants to know what's on Panthro's head. It's a helmet with ears. And then here's Lionel with his greatest ally,
Gumby.
and Gumby's got pistols. I love it. That hair though. I want that wig. I'll wear that wig to the show.
Currently, toy collectors would freak out if they could travel back in time to check out toy owls. Yeah, we talk about that pretty often, Action Joe. Well, we've talked about it a couple of times. If you could go back in time. Let's see. David, do you remember Z Toys Metal Men from 1978?
Yeah, and they had like little spaceships and stuff, and they were all die cast like 5 points articulation figures. Is that the ones? See, there's another shot of the Panthro. See, it's like a big helmet with ears attached to it. That just looks ridiculous. I guess from a distance, and you're a little kid, and you don't know any better because you're like 6. That makes perfect sense. Now we're way behind.
Yeah,
you'll have to filter that out a little bit.
Oh my God, I'm laughing out loud at those costumes.
Hey, that's what it's all about. Yeah, Saturday mornings, Bugs Bunny meets the superheroes. 2 sequels. Bugs Bunny in Space and Sports Spectacular. Oh my God.
I remember back in the 70s watching New Zoo Review before
Action
school.
Figures too. Yeah, New Zoo Review, and it's coming right at you. Yeah, I remember that show.
Machine Man, how you doing?
Freddy the Frog, that's right.
It
is. It's hilarious though.
Hey James.
James Clucky. He says, I completed my vintage collection of LJ and Doom.
Oh, good for you.
Okay. One from Great Britain was expensive, and that's Baron Harkonnen.
Whoa.
That's cool though.
Yeah, it feels good to complete a line.
I like it being done. This is the one I'm always talking about, like the because if you hadn't seen it, the Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. And everybody says, "Oh, it's the thrill of the hunt." And I'm like, "Nah, I want the thrill of the hunt for me is when I get the last one and I'm done. That's the thrill. It's like, whoo, it's a relief." Yeah, Blue Splash Gumby is a beast. Yes, he is. Gumby is indestructible.
I finally picked up She-Ra on DVD after watching some of it online. I never saw it as a kid because I saw the toy commercials and decided it was for girls. I was wrong. The show is actually
show's funny. Hordak makes it really funny. And Mutant says with the wig, the crown, and mace would be great. Oh God. Saturday morning says news clip on YouTube about Return of the Jedi toys are now in stores for $2.50.
Wow.
And Johnny wants to know why haven't there been released on DVD the complete collection of every John Wayne film, 180 films he did throughout his career, no Clint Eastwood complete films. Different studios. I think I talked about that before. It's like the little our gang. Okay, you got our gang, and you've got the complete. They call it the complete collection, but it's not, because there's 2 different studios that produced our gang. So there's 2 different complete collections. One that goes up to 1935 or something, I forget, and then the other one that picks it up from there. And the same thing with the Marx Brothers. I have 2 complete Marx Brothers anthologies. Both box sets have completely different films because 2 different studios produced it. It's the same thing with John Wayne. Too many different studios, nobody will cooperate. The studios, everybody wants a piece of this and a piece of that. And after negotiations, it's too much.
Hold on. David had said something.
Yeah, we're way behind now.
No, we done caught up.
Oh,
we caught all the way up. But David,
if you can repeat your question.
no, he said it right here. We were talking about because me and
Oh,
David
Mondo.
actually talked about this earlier this week amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Just you know, looking at these new figures, and then they remake everything, and it's not as good. And we've talked about it countless times on the live stream
Sure.
too. But you're paying $200 for these figures, and you're not getting anything, and it's like, do you really want to do that? Is it even worth it? Should you just go out and buy the original?
For some of the prices, you'd be better off.
Yeah, I mean, you going okay? He was talking about the Ghostbusters. You're gonna pay $200 for one figure, and it's new. And then that same $200 would probably buy you one or two of the original from what, the 80s?
Yeah, late 80s.
Yeah.
From
So I mean, yeah, it won't be a
Ghostbusters.
1/6 scale figure, but it'll be the original.
Oh, those are 1/12, the Mondos.
Oh, they're not even 1/6
No, they're
scale?
1/12. That's why I said they look like Legends figures to me.
For $200?
$202.
Wow.
202. $2 extra. Two.
Wow.
Plus tax and shipping. So, yeah, and I'm like, and she has a complete set of the original real Ghostbusters from Kenner monsters. The Universal looking monsters, Universal type monsters, because they're not really Universal monsters, and they were not that expensive, actually.
Now, some of the original Ghostbusters figures are expensive. The monster ones wasn't. That's why I got those. I didn't get the original, cast Egon and whatever the rest of them are. I didn't get those. I actually bought the reissues of those because the reissues were cheaper. The original, they can cost, a couple $100.
Yeah, especially at the end of the line where you get like the glow in the dark ones and stuff, and people are looking at like $800 a piece and whatever. Yeah.
Gilgamesh don't trust the weather.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, you look at them, you go by, and you say,
they call it weather prediction for a reason. Saturday Morning says the last live stream, no new Raggedy Ann and Andy toys anymore, but Aurora has a new Ann and Andy at Target stores and Amazon. Okay.
Oh, really?
Well, you know what that is? That's because Target has that like retro line that they do where they remade See and Say and they remade Slinky and all that stuff on that one end cap. That's probably what that's for.
Yeah, the rain all day. Yeah. It was clear this morning, then it got dark, and it's been windy all day, and if it rains, it rains. If it don't, it don't.
Blue Splash got all 4 original Ghostbusters and Marshmallow Man for $35. And the Mondo set's $202.
Yeah. See?
And Johnny wants to know if the Sideshow Universal monsters you have are the grayscale or colored versions. I think she has a few of each.
Yeah, I got some of each.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they come in that flat box like what NECA does.
Yeah, the window box.
Comes in the box.
Not the window box, but the
yeah, with the flap.
Yeah, I don't like those.
I don't like them either.
I like to be able to see I want to see artwork and the item.
Yeah.
I like it when they do it like that. I don't like it when it's completely encapsulated. As much, especially with modern figures. They're trying to get you to open it though. That's why they do that, I think.
For me, 1/6 scale, I would take out and display a 1/6 scale figure. I would take that out and display it. But them other ones on a card with a blister, we're gonna stay right there.
Yeah, and then they get more stuff. It looks like it's getting to be a thing now, trying to redo the 80s properties, especially right now, 80s properties.
Yeah.
And some of that stuff's already been redone. Like Earthworm Jim already had an anniversary set. Now they're doing it again. Who was it? Ronin Warriors, because I've complained about that one a few times from Playmates. Already had a re-release. And they're doing it again. Skeleton Warriors had a release. The anniversary skeleton warriors cost more than the original ones. I'd rather just get the original ones. It may be articulated a little better, or whatever, but I don't care.
Yeah,
because I'm always looking for that nostalgia.
Well, that's what they're going for,
Mm-hmm.
and then they figure, oh yeah, I'll just get the new ones, and it'll be brand spanking new. The card and everything will be like pristine, and I can't find it. And people just automatically think because it's old, it's expensive, and that's not always the
Not
case.
always the
And
case.
you proved that with that video you did of those cheap action figures from the what 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not the big sexy stuff like I call it sometimes. There are certain lines
Yeah.
they'll cost you. It's
Yeah.
going to be expensive. Kenner Star Wars, Mattel Masters of the Universe. You're going to pay.
GI Joe.
Yeah, you're going to pay for it. But there's a lot of other stuff that's been produced flies right under the radar.
Yeah.
And some of it is really hard to find. It can be rare,
Mm-hmm.
and still it doesn't cost that much because
Yeah.
nobody's really thinking about it, unfortunately. And it's some pretty cool stuff.
Saturday Morning says the new real Ghostbusters figures have the cartoon bad guys
Yeah,
like Boogeyman.
with or without. The standard edition is 101, but if you want the bonus figure, you pay 202. It doubles.
Wolfie is looking forward to the new Mask toys. A girl in fourth grade had the Rhino.
Mhm.
We watched Mask. That was actually a
It
good.
wasn't a bad show.
Yeah, it was a good cartoon. Are they re-releasing the original Ronin Warrior or just making modern interpretations?
It's a modern interpretation because now it's like an official 12th scale figure with better articulation, but they're like 175, 200 a piece retail, and I'm like, okay, they look better than the ones that were released by Playmates, but the ones from Playmates, I can get 2-3 figures for that price. I mean, give me a break.
David says that on the Big Bad Toy Store, the Marvel Legend prices got raised to $27.99 for the
Really?
ones on pre-order.
Wow. Went
That's
up.
crazy. I paid $10 for 80s Thundercats Panthro. New one is what, $35?
I don't know. Thundercats Panthro, 55 from Super 7.
Yeah. Well, you can get it cheaper aftermarket.
And Richard wants to know if I ever heard of a comedian named Chris Rush did the album record Beaming In. I'm not sure if I recognize that.
Record. Oh, you got a record collection.
Record collecting.
Yeah, I love collecting records. I like looking for them. We got a little collection growing. David got a little collection going on. But yeah, I like my record collection. We listen to it mainly on the weekends. We listen to it more, but almost every day. But on the weekends, we listen to it almost all day.
Because she has a good system. She has a good system.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see you with Snow White, Johnny. Shame on you.
The whole thing about record collecting is playing the records, and you have to have a good system. And I didn't realize that at first, because at first, I bought a system.
You see like at Walmart, a record player, $50. That's great. Nah.
Then you play it and you listening, and it don't sound as good. You don't realize that it doesn't sound good because growing up, you didn't have nothing nice. So then I went to Goodwill, Value Village or somewhere, and I found one, and I was like, okay, this one look a little more high end, and I bought it, and I was like, whoa, okay, this sounds a lot better. But that one, it had its issues that got annoying after a while, so I bought a really good player, and boy, you could tell the difference from the Walmart one, the one from Amazon, the little cheap one for $50. The one I got from Value Village, we went up, and now on this one, and I'm like, whoa! Now I just need some good speakers. Like off at those musicals. But how about when musicals tried for the
cinema screen?
Meow. Oh, I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Munin was glad to hear Kenner's vintage Star Wars still holding value because the modern ones really kind of don't.
Release mass toys. Yeah. Oh, I know what he's saying now. The when they make the sound, I guess like the roar or whatever. Miss action figures at the playground. One kid had Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Shockwave. Mm-hmm. When I was in school, people didn't bring their toys to school.
Aaron is with us.
Who is Aaron?
Aaron joined us. See, you missed it.
Oh,
it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But hey, Aaron.
Oh, I see it right there. Hey, Aaron.
Loyal Subjects is really that's right. They're moving along there, but they're doing a lot of those old properties.
That 24.
Because remember they had the Strawberry Shortcake. They got the Rainbow Bright.
Yeah.
They got
they're picking up a lot of those older Popples. 80s properties. I think Wuzzles too, right?
Popples. I don't think they have Wuzzles. But the thing that threw me was the Holly Hobby. I mean, it's nice that someone's doing that. Holly Hobby's been remembered here now. But again, I guarantee you, if you go on eBay and you look up Knickerbocker Holly Hobby, you can find the originals for a really decent price. You can, including the action figures. A lot of people don't know there were Holly Hobby action figures.
Oh, was it?
They were done on the same packaging style as your Raggedy Ann and Andy action figures because Knickerbocker did that in the 70s. They come carded with little accessories and stuff. And there was even a playhouse for, they're like 5-inch, 5-point articulation figures.
Do you guys have your collection insured?
Of course. You have to. You have to.
I know that's right.
And Richard says he's been getting them on eBay. I volunteer at the library. I got some good records, 10 for 10. There you go. So I try to move ahead here a little bit and catch up. So if I overlook you, it's nothing personal. Nerd said when he was young, record collection was like a badge of identity. Yeah, it could be. Now people don't even care. Well, a lot of people don't know about vinyl, but actually, surprisingly, you go to the vinyl conventions, like my wife and I do sometimes. We go to the Atlanta Record and CD Show. You see a lot of young people there that are younger than you might expect. It's like, wow, okay, that's great. Robert has joined us. Glad you could make it. No, Holly Hobbit. There you go. Picking on LPH there. I can show you those figures. I don't have the Holly Hobby action figures, but she does have the Raggedy Ann and Andy action figures, which I've shown before. Most people don't even know they exist. Uncarded Reviews has joined us. Glad you could make it today. Oh, and he says he got his Cracked magazine back from CGC graded at a 3. Cracked number 1? Is that the Cracked number 1? That's cool. I didn't press it for you. Blue Splash said, isn't that company that does Operation Force, aren't they going to do a Cops and Crooks Bulletproof 1/12 scale? I hadn't heard anything, but it wouldn't surprise me if they brought that property back, although I'm surprised that that Hasbro wouldn't do it since that was originally their property. They're the ones that was doing Cops and Crooks. They did Inhumanoids. They had their fingers in a lot of pies that people remember from those days that they could revive. They could easily revive them. And there were even characters that appeared in those shows that were never done, never shown, like the Inhumanoids. And it's really cool, iconic line. And at least it would make a little more sense because you want them to remake something that's not obtainable for most people. Again, the Inhumanoids are expensive. So are the, like, for example, the Brave Star is expensive. Cops and Crooks can be expensive. They can get up there. Instead of just rehashing the same stuff over and over again, like LPH has said several times, how many different versions of He-Man do we need? How many times are we going to crank out He-Man again? Oh, look, and everybody's supposed to pretend to be excited now because they're going to re-release an exact replica of the original version of He-Man that Mattel put out, which they did before, but they jointed the knees on those, so it's not the same. again, you're going to make these again. I can't get excited about it. I just can't get excited about that sort of thing at all. Robert says, has anyone noticed prices going up? Yeah, they were just talking about that. Prices are creeping up a little bit here. Like Marvel Legends, for example. Johnny says, a stab in the heart on the pressing, but I do donate to the channel quite often. Am I released from the dunce corner? No. And turn around, young man. Turn. Do I need to get the ruler? No, it's okay, Johnny. I thought you were going to send that to me. That's why I was curious. Uncarded says, I'm excited about the upcoming mask figures and vehicles. Wish the Inhumanoids got an update. Those are expensive. I've had a hard time. I'm still missing 2. I need 2 more Inhumanoids. I need Liquidator on the card, and I need Decompose in the box. But man, they're so expensive. And Liquidator, I can't remember the last time I saw a Liquidator for sale. Carded Liquidator. It's been more than a year. Blue Splash says, I know what you mean. Not to run the franchise into the ground with several companies doing it at the same time. And Sven, Sylvian, excuse me, clarifies. It says I was referring to the musical Cats. Cinemar version was bad. I see what you're saying. Okay. And Johnny made a donation to the channel. You didn't have to do that, Johnny, but we appreciate it. He says Feline Fund Activate. And that is, of course, to help our shelter cats, our poor abandoned and abused shelter cats that we take care of. But we love them all. And, Hobo and Old Dad and Mama Cat and, whoever else. Bandit. There's a tuxedo cat that I call Bandit that's up there now. That he looks like he's wearing a ski mask. He's all black and it's white right around his nose and mouth, but then his nostrils are black and it looks like he's wearing a ski mask. It's crazy. Kaiser Kaiju, he said he bought the Marvel Legends Tobey Maguire. It was a disappointment. Really? And there's Silos YouTube channel. He says it's Carlos. Yo guys, it's Carlos, who you can find. You're going to be at the Joe Fest, as I remember correctly. Wheeling and dealing. Oh, you're bringing that out?
Well, I figure we can show some pickups.
Yeah, and then I can, and if anybody is curious, if they've never seen them, I know I've shown them before, but I can grab those Raggedy Ann and Andy action figures if anybody's curious about that.
Where we?
Oh, keep going.
Oh, right there.
Oh, Johnny said, "Don't get me attached to Bandit." Yeah, he looks. You know who I'm talking about.
No, I don't know
the cat that looks like he's wearing a ski mask.
Yeah. Anyway, some stuff that I don't know nothing about those cats and their names. So, Sky Commander is something that I picked up because I made a mistake again, and I was trying to get the Wing Commander Academy.
Yes.
Which I ended up getting. But before I got that, I thought the name was Sky Commander, and I bought. And these are actually fairly cheap. You can get them for under $30 on eBay for $30 or less. So I actually got 3 of them. So I'm gonna work on that line, and I did find the cartoon on YouTube. So I'm going to start watching the cartoon because I just totally screwed that up. Now, this one, it says that from Big Lots for $5.99.
Yeah, and then and then it has a clearance price.
Yeah. So that was my recent pickups. Saturday morning, my 2 nieces took my nieces to see Looney Tunes Day of. We just saw the ad for that.
Yeah.
Nice to see American studios doing 2D animation on the big screen again. Okay.
And Blue Splash wants to see Raggedy Andy.
Oh, yeah, they do have a cartoon show.
And Carlos said we know he's not going to make it to Toylanta. He said, check out my friend Richard. Who?
Richard.
Fantastic Toys. Okay. Well, hopefully he does have some fantastic toys.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah. Captain Planet figures, yeah, they're really going up. I got 12 of them. And when I got mine, they were still fairly cheap. But now, wave one is cheap. Wave two is expensive. Eric Reese is looking forward to Toylanta and the new venue. I hope the bigger show with PowerCon isn't too crowded. The old venue was getting tight. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Cartoon is on DVD and Voodoo also. Okay.
Okay. 1976 Knickerbocker, 5-inch, 5 points of articulation, Raggedy Ann. Wow, that's vibrantly colored, her face and her hair.
Yeah,
and she has a little kitten in an umbrella. She's got a lemonade stand with a basket of lemons and lemonade and cup and a spoon, wooden spoon and everything. So she's all ready to go. And there's the pole for the umbrella because it plugs in here. And like I was saying, Holly Hobby had a series of figures exactly carded just like this and in the same style. But they're Holly Hobby, obviously. Really nothing on the back.
Yeah.
And then Andy here, while she was running the lemonade stand, went fishing with his little dog. There's Raggedy Andy. And he's got a little wagon for the dog to sit in and a bucket with a fish and a fishing pole. Again, 1976, Raggedy Ann and Andy from Knickerbocker. And this is something that a lot of people, they don't know that this was ever done. They don't know it was ever done. And they're not a fortune. They don't cost a fortune. They're hard to find like this. So.
Carlos has the entire line of Sky Commanders. Besides the mail away, they were expensive when I got them, but now they're low. Yeah, you can get now the one of the big ships is a little more expensive, but you can still find it for under $100.
Yeah.
But it's more than 50. Solo leveling is good. My the guy I work with, he always talks about solo leveling. We're not watching any anime right now, Gilgamesh. We were watching the Cyborg 009, but I couldn't get into that.
No, I didn't care for it.
So we stopped watching that, and we're not watching any now. I don't think I have any. I don't know if I got any more. Oh yeah, I do have a bunch of them saved.
Box series. I do have box sets that we haven't even gotten to yet. Like I got the complete Robotech, and I've got Gatchaman, and some other stuff that are just sitting there waiting. I've got the complete Speed Racer, the original stuff like that. We are still watching
Astro Boy.
Astro Boy.
Hey Robert. So what have they
brought back so far? Master Superpowers, Mass Street Shark, Brave Star. Well, Brave Star doesn't quite count though because that's Ramen and it's a knockoff. Yeah. Sectars, that's right. Zika. Did Zika do the Sectars? Centurions, G.I. Joe, Transformers. Well, Centurions again. I think that was Ramen. Star Wars. They actually brought back a lot. Yeah. And Biker Mice. And they've got another wave of Biker Mice is coming too.
And My Pet Mouster.
Yeah, Biker Mice isn't moving either. They every time we go to the Walmart that we have gone in that section, the adult action figure section, the Biker Mice are stacked there, so they're not moving.
Saturday Morning says that it looks like the artwork is promoting the Raggedy Ann movie.
Well, they used to do television specials.
Yeah.
And I have one up on the channel, which is actually a Christmas special, but it's fantastic. It was done by the same people. I think it was a Tex Avery production. And they save Christmas, basically. But really, they save Santa's workshop. But not the coyote. He's the big bad wolf. He looks and sounds like the coyote from Warner Brothers. But he's the big bad wolf. And basically, spoiler alert, he's trying to grade and encapsulate everything. And this is 1978 that this was written. And I'm like, holy crap, talk about predictive programming. It's hilarious, though. I recommend checking it out. But it's on this channel with original 70s Christmas commercials inserted back in that I did. But
Ed G recently bought the new Bandai Great Mazinger Jumbo Machinder figure.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's happy with that.
The remake of
Dr. Cohen.
the Popey, excuse me.
Halfway through Voltron and got distracted and haven't went back to
Said
it
Blue
for a while.
Splash there. Yeah, I've got the complete Voltron box set too, because remember I found it at I found all five of them at the Retro Toy Swap for like $5. Yeah, Biker Mice Just Sits. A Courageous Cat and Minnie Mouse action figures, says DC. I don't think so. Unless there were figurines that were done. A lot of that kind of stuff was done, or like Tinykins from Marks, little figures or little plastic figurines, things that don't move.
We saw Jailhouse Rock. That's the only Elvis movie that I've seen so far.
He did like 42 movies.
Yeah, he did crazy. A lot, but I only seen that one. Movie was insane on the big screen.
Okay. And Blue Splash, if you really look at vintage and modern, the scaling on modern is so off compared to vintage. Everything seems to scale well in but more so than in vintage than in modern. And part of the reason for that is because when you cross franchise, okay, you can sell your licensing to, like, let's say I own Silverhawks and 10 companies want to make them. I can allow all 10 of them to make those figures as long as they all each do not make them the same way. So that's how come you get everything in different scales. Oh, this is going to be 1/12. This is going to be 1/10, 1/9 scale. This is going to be 3 3/4 inch. This is going to be 5 points of articulation. This is going to be 12. This is going to be 6 scale. That's why they end up doing that, because it goes by manufacturing type when you cross franchise instead of just letting one company do it. Like back in the day, one company was doing it, and then if they saw that there was a big push, like Fisher Price Little People was actually the model for Star Wars, and they said, okay, this size and scale, real popular. Everybody else says, well, we'll make ours in that scale too. And so then Mego did it first with this kind of stuff. Like you see the Buck Rogers hanging over there behind her, and Black Hole figures. And then Hasbro liked the articulation and said, well, we'll do our G.I. Joe figures like that in the same scale. That way kids can play with them all together and they don't have to pick and choose so hard. And that works for a while. But nowadays, since they're selling them to adults anyway, and they got the franchises spread so thin, everybody's got to do different sizes or completely wonky different articulations.
Robert think they should bring back Dino Riders since Jurassic Park is out.
That stuff's expensive. The original Dino Riders and Bone Age stuff. Yeah.
Richard has the whole collection of Gotchi Man and stuff. US version. I had a 7 who is voiced by Casey Kasem.
Got around. But yeah, Gotchi Man was a fun one.
Oh, Chuck Jones did the 2 Raggedy Ann Prime specials.
Did I say I okay, so it was Chuck Jones. I said Tom did it. Renard, if you guys are into collecting classic TV commercials on DVD, Amazon has some pretty good sets. Okay. They
sell the commercials?
Yeah, you can buy. I have a few DVDs that are like that with vintage commercial blocks. Wow. Mostly it's like 50s and 60s stuff. Gilgamesh said, I hope Mattel and McFarlane can work something out like that so Mattel can do 6 or whatever DC figures and McFarlane can keep going with 7. Right now, the 1/12 or Legends scale is the really popular one, which McFarlane falls roughly into that. If Mattel wants to do it in that size, he's going to have to change his scale. Unless he just keeps doing the Super Powers line, which is more popular anyway. Yeah. People really like that Super Powers look and feel, and that's working well for him. But Mattel can put their foot down and say, no, you got to do a different scale if you're going to keep doing it. And then he'll have to suck it up or go do something else.
Not Gilgamesh, sorry, K Munin said he doesn't see kids or adults in the toy aisle.
Nope.
We quit going down there because there's nothing there. Plus, we don't want to really buy the modern stuff anymore anyway.
No, it's just disappointing. We don't care.
Yeah, and I know I got a ton of modern stuff. I really, really do. I don't have any on display anymore. Well, I got like one Super 7 figure on display. And then, no, I lied. One Super 7 Thundercats, and then the Super 7 reaction of the Sesame Street and Richard Scarry. And that's it. But the rest of it is just kind of up, packed up and put away because it's like, I don't really want to see it.
And then that's neat and makes sense. Like the Richard Scarry figures have not been made since, I think, what was it, Play School did them for the Puzzle Town collection in like 1974. And they're figurines. They're like these little 2-inch figurines. They're not articulated at all. And since then, I don't think really anything's been done as far as any kind of figures or figurines. I'd like to see them also do Berenstain Bears.
I would love to see somebody do that.
The only Berenstain Bears that have ever been done were the McDonald's little figures.
Yeah. Well, no, they actually got it's hard to find, but I saw
those are dolls though, aren't they?
Yeah, they got a plush, but
I know
they got
what you're
one.
About, yeah,
they did that, but the family didn't want a lot of merchandising. They didn't want too much. They didn't want to be flooded.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dino Riders, they can improve on stuff that's broke. And I think that's the point.
That's what you would hope for.
Yeah.
I bet you the modern one would be more fragile.
Yeah, probably will. Because I think that's supposed to be the point of reissues, but it doesn't seem to do that. So it's just like kind of pointless because it's like you're making these figures more expensive and they don't hold up as well as the old ones. I'm still playing with the old ones and they still last. And you touch the new one and they break soon as your hands touch it.
Yeah.
When I did go to the toy aisle in Walmart or Target, the reissue Ninja Turtle vintage figures mostly gone, but all the other Ninja Turtle stuff is still there.
And Zomb is there.
Hey, Zomb.
He said action figure aisles at Walmart Canada are reduced. Walmart says most will be online.
Wow.
And he wonders if it has to do with Canadian dollar issues and tariffs and so on.
Yeah, who knows? You'll never get the truth.
You'll never get the truth. Johnny says, I see stuff at the antique store still on the shelf in Target, but it's collectible. Yeah, it's collectible. So is belly button lint. Richard said, somebody somewhere has a jar full of belly button lint. I saw Hoarders once where they had medicine bottles full of toenail clippings. Richard said, do you remember the original Ronald McDonald, the very first actor to portray Ronald? Yeah, Willard Scott. That's right. And he had the big tray on his head, right? He had a tray on his head with like a meal. Known for work as a weatherman and as Bozo from 63 to 65. He was Bozo in the Chicago area, though, right? Because a couple of different people played Bozo. And Saturday morning, saw kids a few weeks ago getting a One Piece and Sonic figures. Retro toy store here is full of kids on weekends. And the first Ronald was scary. It was weird, if nothing else. And Robert thinks Dino Riders would sell. Yeah. Because Jurassic Park is popular.
Yeah, he said that already.
Different scale, though. They'd have to change the scale. The Dino Rider figures are 2 inches tall. It's from Tyco. They're like 2 inches tall. And the Jurassic Park are 1/18 scale.
Well, not just that came in. I don't think toy lines, nothing is good for toy lines no more. Just like you hear, they say that people are getting worn out with superhero movies.
Yeah.
I think people are getting worn out with toys. Because nobody wants it. They're making the same thing. They're not good, So I think people are getting fatigued and they need to just stop for a little while. Let people, hey Thor.
Thor's joining us.
Let people miss it and want it again, revamp, retool or something. But that's why I'm kind of like, nah, I don't even want to see it anymore. because it's no point. Again, now if they did Bernstein Bears, I probably would look at that.
I don't think that's
it's
really
never been done, except for the plushies. They did have plushies. I see more people in Target and Walmart. Walmart is just sad.
Yeah, well, nobody likes Walmart though. Robert says vintage Dino Riders break easy. Yeah, the vehicles break very easily. And Zom, it hurts to see YouTube videos showing toy goodness down south. Reduced prices are crazy. Well, they have the same issue in Europe too.
Yeah,
because it's just hard for them to get certain things.
Now we are not strangers line from the It movie was real lines.
An early Ronald McDonald ad.
Oh, okay.
And Johnny said another Jurassic movie coming out this year. Another fantastic movie this year. Do we need this?
No.
Well, there's more than 30 Marvel films now, and people are just kind of burned out. Oh, Davy and Goliath.
Yeah. Davy and Goliath is funny.
It is hilarious.
The Christmas special where they did the nativity, the Jesus birth.
Yeah.
The Christmas movie, that one was funny. That was really funny. Davy screwed that little boy over with them with those Christmas trees.
No God.
But that's a good show. And I actually have that saved in our watch list to watch.
The best one, the Halloween episode.
The Halloween one was good too.
That was nuts. The Halloween episode
one was pretty good.
Absolutely nuts.
You know what I'm also tired of too, David, is horror movies. It seemed like every movie come out is a superhero movie or a horror movie. And it's like, how many horror movies do we need? And I know it goes through phases because, back in the 70s and 80s, we had a lot of horror. Then you went through the action movies. Then you went through aliens. Like in the 50s, you had a lot of aliens and you had a lot of
radioactive bugs and stuff. Yeah,
and going out in space and doing space exploration. Then you went to sci-fi and it just keeps going. But now it seems like superheroes, and they call them thrillers, not horror anymore. Yeah. But it is not.
And they'll make it of absolutely anything. There is a Popeye horror movie coming out.
I think I remember seeing that or hearing about
that.
I
really want to see that. Murdering kids in a warehouse somewhere.
Well, they did that with Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I know. It's too much. It's too much. And it's like some, every IP that opens up, some jackass has to make a horror movie of it. And I don't want to see that. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of seeing that. And that was a bad trend that started in the 70s, in the late 70s, where there's no resolution by the end of the film. Like you watch a really good horror movie like The Shining. There is a resolution at the end. A lot of bad stuff happened.
Yeah.
The girl and the kid got away. They escaped. You close that chapter. In these modern films, they
always leave it open.
Yeah, they always leave it open. A lot of really innocent people die for nothing, and they get away with it and get away with it and get away with it over and over and over again, glorifying the idea. I don't like that. I don't like that plot device.
Richard agrees with me. Oh, go ahead. You want to see what?
I want to see the item resolved. I want to see a conclusion. Okay. You did all these bad things and now you're finished. Not, but he'll be back in the next one, over and over and over and over again. I don't get a thrill out of seeing just innocent people just torn to bits. Anyway.
Done?
Sure.
Richard agrees with me that toys nowadays are not like the toys back in the days. People would just play with them. Them kids would play with them and take that stuff outside and go and play out in the dirt with it and come back and it was still intact. Yeah. You're not doing it now. Hey, no. Mark.
Mark is here. He says he's fatigued on collecting, but also addicted.
Yeah.
And he can't get away. They keep pulling him back in.
Check out Toy Chic.
He has a channel
also. He has a channel. He collects a lot of different stuff. Mondos and we both collect a lot of Mondo, especially the animated series Batman, and I had to get that Man Bat because of him. So he's the reason that I got that Man Bat, because
won't stand up.
I don't know if mine will stand up. Mark one wouldn't stand up because he wasn't doing right. But mine, I don't know if it stands up or not because it's still in the box. But when he does Mondo Batman animated series, I don't watch those because he make me go out and get it. So I'm like, I'm not messing with you with that.
Munin agrees there's a fatigue in the movies. Saturday morning, say Calvin and Hobbes toys. Yeah, I don't think that much has been done for that.
Did they ever make toys for that?
Just a basic merchandising kind of stuff like Garfield, I think, right?
Oh, okay.
Johnny said nobody likes Walmart, but if they all go there because it's either convenient or they have no choice in some places.
Yeah, especially in like small towns. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's all you got.
Yeah.
But back to movie fatigue. All movies, I think, are starting to get just wear on people because they're pointless. They're not talking about anything. The acting is bad.
Yeah.
The dialogue is bad. Nothing about, these modern movies really is appealing. So it's like, why you want to go see it? A movie we saw last week, The Bad Seed, 1956, The Bad Seed. Whoa.
The acting in that is really good.
The acting in that is stellar.
Yeah.
Look for it. It's on Amazon Prime. Tubi. It's on Tubi.
It's been remade a few times, and the remakes are not good. But the original,
we can't say
they suck. The original, the acting is really well done. There are deaths in it that you don't see much because you don't need to.
Any of the deaths.
You don't need to because it's the way they imply it. You get the point.
You know that somebody died.
Yeah.
But we're not going to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
But go out and watch it and then comment and say you watched it and tell me how you like the ending. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Big Bad. Yeah, you know what, David, with that Big Bad Toy Store, I was happening to be on there and they have the Cat's Lair for $1,000. When that thing first came out, it was like $600 or $700.
Probably like $750, but they're over factoring because of the $4 shipping charge.
I guess. I don't know. I didn't see it when it first. I know we're way behind.
Yeah.
As far as toys are concerned, they either have to be vintage or retro. Otherwise, I am not interested, says David.
Oh, yeah.
Superbook and Flying House as a kid. I never heard of any of those. Oh, yeah.
Don't joke about that, Johnny, because there is a woman who does that. I've seen the news article.
Oh, no. They're doing another one? Toxic's Avenger live action, but I'm not going to watch.
I didn't care for the live action. Mm-hmm. I like the animated.
Yeah,
the
animated
is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Who remembers Photon? Who remembers Photon? See if anybody's paying attention. Robert says, does anyone know if the Mezco, Josie, and the Pussycats came out? I don't think so. I don't think they did, actually. Munin says they can't really call them horror. They're not scary. They're trying to make you vomit. I believe the term is gore porn. And Eric said Christina Ricci made news at her Hollywood Star ceremony by stating Hollywood needs to go back to being run by actual movie fans and not figureheads. Fair enough.
She don't get a lot of love anyway because she outed. If that's the same person I'm thinking about, she outed Scientology. Yeah, I think it was her.
You can't have political or social opinions in Hollywood and expect to get far anymore.
Yeah, you're right about that.
The guy who's playing, Falcon / Captain America right now is learning that lesson the hard way right now.
Yeah,
some of the things that he said, and people are like, "You've got to be kidding us."
Why would you say that if your name is Captain America?
It doesn't represent that. And then the other stuff that they were talking about that he's said since.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, maybe that's how you feel yourself personally. But if you're playing a character and the name is Captain America, you don't say that out loud.
Yeah.
You say that at home.
Yeah.
You don't
let
tell
people
that.
enjoy what it is.
Right.
Just
plus people
it.
Plus people already mad because you doing it. You know. So why make it worse?
They want classic Captain America, basically.
I guess.
And Nostalgic said some of his favorite toy lines had no TV or movie tie-ins like Micronauts, G.I. Joe Adventure Team, and so on. And of course, I can add to that Fisher-Price Adventure People. There was nothing. Fisher-Price Adventure People was one of the best toy lines out of the 70s and 80s. And they're solid toys, man. You can't hurt them. Richard, I do believe they have a few Popeye the Sailor movies coming out. I watched one called Popeye's Revenge. Oh no,
geez.
I don't want to know.
I don't even want to know what that's
about. The only Popeye
Richard.
movie that counts is the one with the
guy that died.
Yeah.
What's his name? Williams.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
And even that wasn't exactly accurate, but at least it was fun. I saw it in the theater. Actually, I saw that in the theater when I was a kid. Saturday morning, I meant that's how horror's been since the 200 movies, Universal Monsters, Hammer movies series in the 40s and 50s, and it was a shared universe before Marvel did it.
Yeah.
And Saturday Morning Hobbies creator was not a fan or merchandise, refused to make cartoons also.
Yeah.
Okay. As we nobody remembers Photon, I guess.
In a couple of weeks, the Mondo Batman
Scarecrow. Did you?
I ordered that.
Did you?
No. I ordered that.
You did?
Okay. I ordered it from Mondo so I can get the. I don't know if I did. I get it.
I don't know if you.
I did. I don't know if I got it or not. I don't know. No, I did order it. I know that for a fact. I guess it hasn't come out yet. If you're gonna be putting a video out in a couple of days. Yeah, I got that one. Yeah, I got the one from Mondo because I got the deluxe one. I think the deluxe one had like an extra head or something. Something it had. So I went on Mondo website and actually got it. Did you hear about Clayface
in a movie as a individual movie? No, I didn't hear that.
I heard that they were going to do something with him in the movie. I didn't hear that it was going to be a horror. I didn't know if it was true or not, but I don't see that. Your folks have a little more outlets to yeah.
Well, yeah, mostly it has like broken junk in it though, so don't feel so bad.
Yeah. Gilgamesh saw Sonic 3. That's the last modern movie. The last modern one we saw in the theater, of course, was the Joker 2.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Apocalypse from X-Men 90s cartoon acting is better than anything in 25. Blues, okay.
As we shift around here.
Oh, the 80s bad seed with the girl as a kid. They did it again in the mid 2000s with what's that guy name? I can't think of his name. But then they did a part 2 because it was the dad and the daughter. And somehow or another, the dad dies and they made a part 2. And the daughter goes to stay with the aunt. And the uncle figures out that the girl is crazy.
Yeah.
So, but I'm like, oh man. The Bad Seed on YouTube also. I just rented it for $4 and I will watch it tonight. Thanks for the recommendation.
Well, hopefully you like it.
Yeah, hopefully you like it. It's a really good movie. And that little girl, boy, she played that part.
Yeah.
But I read up on it and it was a stage play.
Yeah. And you can see the physical changes. That's something I complain about a lot with modern actors. There's no facial expression.
Yeah.
And you can see this girl's whole demeanor change right in her facial appearance as she's talking, and it's like, whoa, now suddenly she looked like a whole different person just like that because she's emoting. But modern actors, they don't emote, they just look stone faced. There's nothing coming from them. I
don't know the person's name, but
if Macaulay Culkin, that would be the good son.
That's the good son. Plus, the name of it is called The Bad Seed, and it came out in 1956.
Oh, Aaron remembers Photon.
Something happened.
Yeah, I don't know where you are. You're too far behind. That's why.
Yeah.
Aaron remembers Photon, and he had laser tag.
Yeah.
Photon tried to make action figures for their show. Is why I'm asking. They didn't get far with it though. LJN did it. I have a set. I have the only one that was produced because they had planned for 3 sets, but they only actually put 1 set out to market, and the other 2 sets, all that's available are salesman samples, if you can find any of them. And mostly it's going to be loose. You can't find it in the packaging. And I can show it to you. It's over here.
Yeah, the only way you're going to figure that out, Robert, is to test it. Yeah. Robert was saying he wonders if the Captain Power stuff still works when you shoot it at the TV. You got to try it to figure it out.
You would need a cathode ray television.
Oh, you can't use the.
You got to use a tube television, I believe, in order to get it to work properly, because you could put. You have the VHS cassettes. With the Captain Planet, if you have the VHS cassettes and a VCR and a cathode ray TV, you're good to go. But
that's what a Machine Man says.
I think that I'm not so sure that that it'll work on a modern flat screen.
Oh, an animated Popeye movie years ago, but was killed to make the Emoji.
The Emoji movie that was awful. Patrick Stewart played poop. I didn't see it. I wouldn't watch a movie like that.
No, Popeye in the movie, Shelley Duvall both did a good job. Okay, you going to show that?
Sure, I can show it.
Okay, go ahead.
Someone might not have ever seen that before. But, along with the Photon, of course, as you know, they sold helmets and harnesses and the guns because you could play laser tag with it. But it wasn't laser tag, it was Photon. And this is Bodhi Lee versus the Warrior. Warrior, because it's 4 R's. And it's that 4-armed creature that's in there. And this is a flap box. So you open it like this.
So you can see it.
And you can see the figures fully there. And they do work, and you can shoot them. And they flash and everything.
That's nice and bright. It's not all faded.
Yeah, you can use your Photon guns on these. See? And this was made in 1986 alongside of the other Photon equipment that was being sold. And this is the set that this is, right? The Warrior and Bodhi Lee. But they made these 2 additional sets here that never made it to stores. And like I said, occasionally loose figures turn up because all that was available were salesman samples. But they're out there. There's a handful out there. I don't have any of those. I just have this box set. So it's just a unique piece of little toy history there when Photon was trying to break into the whole laser tag market.
I don't know about that. Johnny. I wish they would do a Michael Myers where he talks and explains why he went crazy and killed everybody. I watched it so much looking for that, and then when they came out with,
you're talking about Halloween or Jason?
I'm talking about Halloween. I know he's talking about. I know.
Okay, Jason.
And I said I don't know about that. I wish they would do Michael Myers, and I thought they were going to do that with the new one with Jamie Lee Curtis when she's all old, the very first one where she encounters him in the basement. And I thought they were going to have a conversation. And she said, "Why are you doing all this? Why you kill Mom and everybody else?" And that didn't happen. And it's like, I guess they figure if he says why he did all that, you bring closure to the movie. Now we can't really make any more, which they should have brought closure to it a long time ago. But who knows?
And the thing with Jason, here's your big throw for Jason, okay? First movie, Jason was died as a child.
Yeah.
Okay. Second movie, it's Mama, right? Mama's the killer.
In the first movie.
Mama's the killer in the first movie. That's right. Okay. Yeah. And she turns out to be the killer. So if the boy is dead, and at the end of the first movie, the the boy jumps up out of the water and attacks the girl in the boat. Remember? How come in the second movie he's like a 35-year-old man in a jumpsuit with a mask? So zombies grow? I mean, how did he get to be an adult? How did that happen? Somebody explain it.
Robert, you would have to watch the movie to figure out. I mean, it's not all like how you're talking. Watch the movie and then you'll know what happens.
Yeah, we don't want to give it away.
Constantly going on and on and on.
You
gotta watch it. It's free on Tubi.
Yeah, we don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, Munin says it's like actors are being told to be robotic and emotionless. It's like the Last of Us. That was the big complaint. The girl was like wood. She was like wood, and she was totally expressionless and blank. And people were commenting that on the video game, not only was the girl better looking, but actually was able to express herself. And this girl, I'm just reading the lines. She may as well be a ventriloquist dummy with somebody's hand up her behind. This is me. I am acting. I am so great because I am non-binary. She actually said that in an interview. Yeah. I'm a great actor because I'm non-binary.
What that got to do with you being an actor? That doesn't make a person good or bad.
Gilgamesh wants to know if the NES gun will not work on a modern TV. I don't know.
You got to try it and see.
Yeah, you'd have to try it.
Hey, Austin.
Austin Bird has joined us. Saturday morning, used to watch Photon.
There you go. Aaron did too. It was a live reaction, he said.
Live action Saturday morning show. And Laser Tag also had a show, but it was a cartoon.
Is it rare, Gilgamesh? I'm not Gilgamesh. Why I keep calling you Gilgamesh?
I don't know. It's
Kay Munin says.
It's you can find it. I'm not sure what it's going for now. I've had that set for a long time. The Photon Warrior Challenge, it says. Let me see. I can look real quick and see what they're going for. It's a neat set, and it's something you don't see often. Yeah, okay. I thought it would be something like that. There's only one on eBay right now in the box, and it's going for it's $150 with 0 bids. No bids on it.
The Friday the 13th 80s show didn't even have Jason. They had the one for Freddy's Nightmare. Didn't have Freddy in there.
Friday the 13th show was like it was an adventure show almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Canadian show. There's nothing in completed auctions either. There's nothing in the completed auctions for Photon action figures. So yeah, it's it's a tough set. There's, like I said, there's one on there right now.
I guess.
So, but again, it's a cool set. The scale's big though. They're like the size of the Brave. They're like the size of the Brave Star figures.
Johnny says on part 2 he had that sack over his head with one eye hole. A third.
Okay.
He put on the hockey mask. Oh yeah, I remember the sack, and then I never put it together. Yeah, he did have the sack, and then he moved over to the hockey mask.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember it that well.
It really runs together. Zomb likes the graphics name tags.
What's the name tag?
And Wolfie said, "Do you have any advice on making an intro for my channel? You need unless somebody did it for you.
Yeah.
You need video editing software.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, and a lot of time and a lot of patience. Because you got to get the pictures of what you want.
Yeah.
You got to load it up into the program and then
find non-proprietary
organize it.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, because YouTube gets really wonky about all kinds of different music. And Saturday morning said Freddy has his own 900 scary story for kids number.
Really?
Kids bubble gum, NES games for kids, and other merchandise.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you remember I've got the talking Freddy doll from Matchbox.
Hey, BK.
BK is here. But yeah, they all did the 1-900 numbers. I remember who is it?
Freddie. I remember Freddie with the 1-900.
Freddie had the 1-900 number. That was a big thing in the 80s.
But how can Michael have a 900 number when he didn't talk?
Almost all of the wrestlers had one.
Yeah,
all of the tier wrestlers. The jabronis didn't get one. And Captain Lou Albano had one that changed weekly because he did updates.
Yeah, he was a host and a narrator, but it was like just short stories. I used to watch it. I liked it. I liked all of that dark. What was it? Dark
what?
I can't remember.
You don't know?
I was about to say Dark Shadows, but
it ain't Dark Shadows.
I know.
Is it?
Can you recommend any free editing The free ones are not good.
The free ones aren't going to work.
No.
They're either going to put a huge watermark across your whole video, or they're going to delete your audio whenever you go to print.
Or they're going to limit a lot of the stuff that you need, and they're going to keep telling you have to upgrade to Pro or something like that. So it's better to just buy a program.
There's some cheap ones.
Yeah, there's some cheap ones out there. They're not that expensive.
Like I use Vegas Studio, and that one's inexpensive. You can download it right off of eBay. I don't think it's that much. Look up Vegas Studio.
Yeah. And they got Cyber. The one I use is Cyber something another. But then that one, because I never renewed it, now when I put videos up, it's all bubbly.
Toy Chic wanted to know where we got ours. I made them. I made a few of them. Somebody did a couple for me, but then I had to alter it because the music got me in trouble.
Yeah. $150 and no bids, most likely because it's so obscure. No completed auctions. Yeah.
In the completed auctions, I only saw 3 loose figures. So yeah, it's not something you see too often.
I have a bunch of the NECA horror line. When they were doing it way back when, and I had got a bunch because I used to be big in the horror in the 80s. And I think I started dropping off like in the 90s. Then I tried to pick back up in the 2000s, like with Saw. Whenever Saw came out, the first one was good. The second one was horrible. Then it just seemed like it just progressively got worse. So then I just dropped off of horror totally. But I had bought a bunch of the NECA horror lines or horror figures. And I don't know if I got the Jason with the bag or the mask. I don't know.
Saturday morning.
They all had
Smurfs, Star Trek, Muppets, Chipmunks. Chipmunks had action figures.
Yeah. You remember when 900 numbers were big and you had to pay for like $1.99 the first minute, $5.99 each additional minutes? Aaron used to call those 900 numbers.
You're lying. That don't work because me and some other kids tried it once.
Oh,
you gotta load that machine. You got to put more money into that. Into it to get it to work.
900 numbers aimed at kids were banned in the 90s. Yeah, because kids were doing that, getting their parents some big phone bills. Is a good, but better option if you upgrade.
Canva, he says $13 a month. Ooh. Well, with the Vegas Studio, it's a one-time purchase and you keep it forever.
Okay, T. Stewart said light guns do not work on flat TVs. I take vintage games to hospitals for kids to play. And we can't use the light guns.
I didn't think so. I thought it would have to be for sure a cathode ray TV.
Out of all the horror franchise, I like to see Hellraiser get a prequel.
Hellraiser.
They could show his backstory of finding the puzzle box.
Oh.
They'll do something weird with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there you go. And Zom said they never made a figure for Sleepaway Camp. Yeah, give them a chance.
Sleepaway Camp was all right until the last scene.
Yeah.
And then it got real weird.
Yeah, but it got exceptionally weird.
But then it made you kind of remember the beginning of the movie because it kind of told you what was going on at the beginning, but you didn't really pay attention.
Yeah.
But Sleepaway Camp was crazy.
That was a creepy movie.
And that one had like 2-3 sequels. I only saw the first one. I was like, I don't
That's
know why
enough.
they need a sequel. And can that boy or girl or whatever that was, are they in the sequel?
It was a boy pretending to be a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they showed a little Willie.
I mean, they had him at the end. How could he come back and do anything? I mean, they got him.
But they didn't have to show him butt naked.
Well, they wanted
stuff
to,
out.
and then
but they had to let you know.
Yeah, by like cut framing the girl's head over that body, and you can see it like shimmering.
Yeah,
because they did such a shitty job.
That was pretty bad, and because that was so bad, it took the sting out of the shock of finding out that was a boy, because you're sitting, and I think that the hand was raised up because it was like the police lights and everything, and the hand was raised. But then you looking and you see this boy body and this girl head, and the head is like jumping back and forth, and you're like, what am I looking at? So it took the sting away. They are supposed to be a prequel to Rocky.
Just Johnny.
Really?
I don't want to see it.
What scale is that in humanoids? Humanoid speaking.
The Inhumanoids figures are 1/18 scale. They are 3 3/4 inch.
But they look big.
They look big because they're in suits. They're in mech suits. That's why they look so big.
Okay.
But if you look at the head, right,
mm-hmm.
and you compare it to a Hasbro GI Joe,
mm-hmm.
they're in the same scale. So,
okay.
I'll grab somebody here.
He's gonna grab something.
Yeah, I'll grab somebody here and show you. They are 1/18 scale. So you can see when you look at the heads, that's when you can see it.
Yeah, you can see it now.
So it's like if he was inside of this suit,
mm-hmm.
and that's how.
Can they come out of the suit?
No.
Oh.
And they've actually done customs of the Inhumanoids where they've taken the Inhumanoids figures loose and removed the heads because they match with these, and you can put an Inhumanoid's head on a body type like this,
mm-hmm.
and have like a regular looking Inhumanoids figure that's scaled like that. So
I never saw the Crying Game, Robert.
I didn't see it either.
But if it's the same as Sleepaway Camp, I don't need to see it. Hey, Frankenfrog!
It's not on my radar at all to see the Crying Game. So
what was that? I don't know. Those Wrestling 900 number was such a scam. All you would hear were old voice recordings of them. I guess Stone Sour called those 900 numbers a lot. In part 2, they changed him into a female. Oh no! So he had gender reassignment surgery. I used to get my horoscope almost every day at the payphone for 25 cents when I was in high school.
Really?
Why you just read it out of the newspaper?
Yeah, read it out of the newspaper like everybody else.
Yeah.
That's the Chipmunks action figure, since I mentioned it earlier. 1984 Ideal Toy Company.
Ooh, they made a lot. Look at the bag.
Well, they didn't really, because only the top row is figures. The rest of them are figurines.
Oh, okay.
They made a lot of plastic, like 2-inch figurines. These are 1/12 scale, actually. And there is a David, but Dave, the manager, but you can only get David with the tour van.
Oh.
Because they had 2 vehicles and they had a play set.
Did they do the Chipettes?
Yes. So they have the Chipettes, they have Tuxedo, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, regular clothes, and then they had like Uncle Al.
I don't remember Uncle Al.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
Robert Miss Cleo. You remember Miss Cleo? She got caught up.
Yeah, Miss Cleo, please.
Nintendo had 900 numbers where you can learn how to use the warp zone. Oh wow.
Yeah, I remember that. They everybody did. It was a big deal in the 80s until it just wore out.
Yeah, I remember the Chipmunk plushies.
Yeah, Ideal also made chipmunk and chipette dolls, and I think they sold outfits for them as well.
Oh, okay.
So that was a big thing from Ideal in the 80s, just right at the kind of the tail end of Ideal's relevance before they went bankrupt, before they went belly up.
I wonder what caused those.
They were so big. They were huge.
But that's what I'm saying. I wonder what caused those companies to fold. I mean, you're a toy company.
Bad choices.
Yeah. You're a toy company making toys and they're selling and doing all that. I guess just bad business practices or something like that.
That's what killed Mego.
But that guy did some crazy stuff and went to jail.
Stuff. Yeah, he did go to jail.
You know, that's kind of like different.
But
it's not the same. Oh, you know that JJ Arms? He's still around. He was on the news the other day.
Was he? I thought he died.
Somebody was on the news with that name, and they said that he was a private investigator. I just saw that and thought about it. I saw it at the on the morning news. Yeah. He was talking about something.
That was Ideal trying to capitalize on the real life hero kind of thing, because they did the Evel Knievel line, which was one of their most successful lines in the 70s. The Evel Knievel line made Ideal a lot of money. It was very popular, even though it's a crappy figure. I mean, he's a bendy. It's a bendy figure. You can't do too much with him.
But maybe he had a son then, and that's who was on, and he's a private investigator. But somebody was on Good Morning America.
Okay.
Or Good Morning Today or something, one of them morning shows.
But they, Ideal got this brilliant idea. Well, let's try other really famous people that we can make an action figure of, and they chose JJ Arms, and it was just like they didn't quite cut it.
I would buy a 1/6 scale of Victor Newman. I would buy him. I would buy that.
Really?
If like Hot Toys or somebody did 1/6 scale of Victor Newman and they put a nice suit on him, I'll gladly buy that and put it up. Well, you could get a custom head and buy a body and a outfit.
If you want to end up spending like $1,000.
I know.
Johnny says he wants to know if we have any original Chipmunks wall posters from the vinyl records. I don't think so.
No.
I know I have.
I don't think I have any vinyl records.
I have a couple of records.
You do. I remember you buying
but
those.
But I don't recall if the posters are in there or not. I don't remember. I know more so the toys, anyways, because that's where the nostalgia is for me.
Saturday Morning has a Chipmunk Adventure soundtrack.
Okay.
I remember watching that cartoon. I used to like it.
Well, there's two. I mean, actually, I think the 60s one is better than the 80s version. The 60s one is a lot funnier to me than the 80s incarnation. Then
they did a live action. I remember that. I never saw it, though.
No, that was a movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Eric brought in Victor Newman, wrote a book. Do you have No, I didn't know he had the book. I mean, I didn't know he wrote a book. He has cancer. I think I said this before. He has cancer, and he wanted to retire from the show. He's been trying to retire from Young and the Restless for years. And every time he's getting ready to retire, people protest the show. And then the show has to pay him all this money to come back. Because I remember the first time that he was going to retire, they were going to kill him off. Man, I took off work and everything so I could sit there and watch it fresh. Because I didn't want to see it in reruns, so I had to watch it fresh.
Oh, no.
So I took off work and I sat there and I watched. And he had got sick. That's how they did it. He got sick.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't die. And then he came back. And now he got cancer. And he was trying to retire. So they had to, people protest. So they had to write the cancer into the script. So to explain why he looked the way he looked, or he's sitting down, he's not as active, or he looks weak and all of that. They had to write all that in. Yeah. So he's gonna die, Victor Newman, right there on Young and the Restless, because people won't let that man retire and just take a break. They will not let him retire.
People take that stuff too seriously.
Yeah, they do, but I like it. I haven't seen the show in years.
You wouldn't recognize it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, all you got to do is watch it for a week, and you know exactly what's going on. You'll catch up in a week.
No, I mean because of the modernization.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
wouldn't recognize it, or you wouldn't want to.
yeah.
Gilgamesh wants to know what the Chipmunks movie was called, where they flew in the balloons. I don't remember.
They made more than one movie, I think. Yeah, his name is Eric.
Braden. They won't let him retire.
No, they
That's
won't.
right.
They will not let that guy retire because people threatened to protest and not watch the show anymore. So him and Nikki, because I think Nikki was trying to retire too.
Yeah.
People don't care about her as much, but she can't retire with and leave him on the show because the show bounces back between him and her. So.
Oh well. And Saturday morning has the Chipmunks in a CGI cartoon. They use the 80s song and voice artists.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
They didn't want Catherine Chancellor to. Yeah, she actually died. And they did a big thing for her, and they put up a memorial. And every so often, they would go to the memorial, her like gravesite, and it's this big granite wall thing with her name on it, and they'll do all that. So, you know, but yeah, people get attached to those characters, especially on soap operas, and you see them every day. People get attached. I hear that in what?
Sylvia, and they're gonna make another Final Destination.
Oh, come on. They already had like 10.
The first one wasn't even that good, honestly.
No, it wasn't.
They don't need to keep doing that. And Toishi thinks it was called Chipmunk Adventures or something like that. I don't remember. I don't remember. And any modern incarnation, I probably wouldn't be interested in seeing anyways, because I just get worn out with that. People ask, it's like, they're gonna make a movie of this and that. Are you gonna see it? And I'm like, nah. I'll just wait for the shoe to drop and find out what we already know, that the movie is garbage, and then I will be relieved that I didn't waste my time seeing it in the first place. And if by some chance it actually is good, it's not going anywhere. I can catch up to it. I don't have to run out and see everything. I'm not a paid critic here.
Yeah. So. I can't wait to see the the reviews for Snow White. Hey, Metro Sky.
No, with all of the
David Hasselhoff. Young and the Restless.
He was Snapper.
Really?
Before Knight Rider.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that. Oh, I didn't watch that kind of stuff. Anyways, I did. But I remember when David Hasselhoff was Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Really?
He was the original cinematic Nick Fury.
Really? Yep. Now I can see that. I can see that. I mean, he got the body is good enough.
Yeah, and he actually can act very intensely.
Yeah, he do on Knight Rider.
He sure pours it on Knight Rider. So I could see that. But he was the original cinematic Nick Fury when they were I think it was when they did it for the Sci-Fi Channel.
No, that's the vintage one. Oh, okay.
Chipmunk Adventure.
Hey, #1 Marvel fan.
And he says Snow White will be a horror show.
I'm just wondering. Well, I already know what people are going to say, and then I don't know. I already know what people are going to say. I wish they stopped using CGI and go back to 2D animation like Lion King, Tarzan, Aladdin, Leo, and Stitch instead of CGI or live action.
Well, and the thing is, too, I was watching Sam Squatch. Snow White will be the biggest box office failure in decades. We shall see. We shall see.
You might be surprised. It might not be as awful as people are making it.
Be quiet before I get a bar of soap out.
Oh,
anyways,
no.
Muted said, good philosophy. Wait to hear that it's garbage. It will certainly save you money and disappointment. Yeah, because that's all you hear anyway. You'll find out quickly enough, and you'll know whether or not it's somebody being snarky or it's realistically just a crappy film. And if it isn't, then you'll find out, and then you can go see it or wait till it comes on disc or whatever the hell you want to do. I've been recently rewatching some of the classic Bond films and looking at the elaborate sets like for example, what is it? You Only Live Twice, which is, I believe, is it the third Bond film? The third or fourth. You Only Live Twice with Sean Connery. And that's when he was in Japan. Okay. And they have the volcano lair of Blofeld. And they finally reveal Blofeld. All right. But look at the set. It's not a model. They actually, you're inside, and the roof of the volcano slides back. They open the roof. A real helicopter comes down in there. An armed platform swings out for the helicopter to land on. People get out. They walk across the set. There's a rocket there with a gantry. There's a monorail running around this thing. It's like the set's the size of a football stadium. And it's all built with tiers and observation decks and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, holy crap. The effort that they went through to build all of that. And now you'd have, and there's 100 guys running around all wearing uniforms, carrying guns. Nowadays, you'd have 3 people wearing jumpsuits with dots on them in a room that's all green for them to walk around in, and all the people and all the sets and everything would be CGI generated.
Don't forget, the first James Bond movie was a TV movie.
No, that one doesn't count.
Oh, boy.
That's going back to like what, the 50s, right? I'm trying to remember. And then they had the original Casino Royale, which was a comedy, and then Dr. No, which also had massive elaborate sets. They blew up a whole refinery in that film to demonstrate the explosion. They were showing that because the whole island had to blow up. Well, gee, back in those days, you didn't have CGI. You had to blow up an island. It's incredible what the effort that went into all of that. And it feels like people are being cheated in the modern era with the CGI garbage, and then it doesn't even look right. It doesn't even look right. Sam Squatch liked Pierce Brosnan. He did 5 films, and he got the part because what is his name? Timothy Dalton did 2 films. Timothy Dalton really liked the part. He really was into it, but there was some kind of problem with MGM and the delay between MGM and Eon Studios, I think, that owns or owned the rights to Bond. And by the time they got it sorted out, his contract was up. And so Dalton was into something else, couldn't take the part. And that's when they dug up Brosnan, and they dug up Pierce Brosnan because of his work on Remington Steele. Same way they got Roger Moore because of his work on The Saint. Technically, Roger Moore did the most films. He did 7. And although Sean Connery also did 7, only 6 of them are official, because only 6 of them are MGM Studios, except for Never Say Never Again, which is a complete rewrite of Thunderball. Only the dialogue is exactly the same. Nothing was changed, but they didn't own the rights to it. So Warner Brothers said, "Ha ha, wink wink, nudge nudge. We're gonna make a Bond film. Ha ha ha." And it just looks like Thunderball, but filmed in the 80s instead of the 60s. And it's called Never Say Never Again because Sean Connery, after his falling out with MGM Studios, said he would never play Bond again. So it's an inside joke.
We went over all this on Coffee Talk.
Oh, Marvel fan, yeah.
Y'all talked about James Bond?
Yeah, sure. Richard says 54, was it the year of the first Bond? It was called Casino. Send Me James Bond, an American Spy. Yeah, I think it would that's the made for TV one, right? And Aaron likes Sean Connery.
Yeah, because the question is, who is your favorite James Bond? I don't know none of them because I never watched a James Bond film. I don't care to see them because I don't like.
They all brought a little something different. It's like asking who's your favorite Joker. You know?
Yeah, they all brought something.
They all brought something to it. Although I don't like the modern one. It's a good action film.
Oh, what's the guy named Craig? Daniel Craig.
It's not a bad action film. I'm not taking that away from it. But his portrayal, it's not Bond.
The Rock is James Bond. I thought the James Bond has to be British. I thought
he should be a British actor.
That was one of the big things that they talked about when they were trying to cast for the next one, because Henry Cavill was trying to be it. Then they wanted Idris Elba. And
I should do a whole separate
else.
video on it because, Amazon with that, I think it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
And Blue Splash said Rock's going to be Apocalypse in the new X-Men movie.
Oh, really?
Well, people should realize by now that Dwayne Johnson is box office poison. That nobody likes him. Everybody thinks he's a big phony. They don't like him. And I think it almost at this point, because of that reputation, it hurts it when he's in a film because people look at it and they're like, oh, not Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
People used to like him, but the more he put himself in social media and tried to portray himself in certain ways, people don't trust him. They don't trust him. They think he's a phony.
Who shot JR was a big deal.
Yeah, it was Sylvian.
Yeah, that was huge. It was it was everywhere. Everybody wanted to know who shot JR. And then it came out, and then they tried to shoot him again, and it was Bobby.
They shot Bobby.
Yeah. Well, no, they meant to shoot Bobby. Bobby was in JR's
That's right.
office.
They thought it was supposed to be for JR.
Yeah, said Bond will be British in the next movie. Yeah, because I remember they were talking about that.
Yeah.
I want to see Hulk Hogan as James Bond. Yeah. I don't know who that person is.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, whoever that is.
And he liked Roger Moore. Funny but serious, says Richard. Well, they all had those puns. And Sam Squatch preferred Dwayne Johnson as a wrestler. I
never seen him wrestle because I wasn't watching wrestling then.
And Richard says Moonraker and The Spy Who Loved Me. And Moonraker came after The Spy Who Loved Me, right? Moonraker, Jerry Anderson worked on a lot of that. Yeah.
He was trying to speak Chinese.
Was he?
I don't know. Moana 2 made $1 billion. Whoa.
So he had to hit this year. Yeah,
he made that much?
But you didn't have to look at him. Because it was animated.
Whoa.
There's only so much of the people's eyebrow that you can take.
His final
boss heel character WWE is hard to watch for me personally. Cody Rhodes doesn't deserve the harsh storyline. We don't know anything about the modern storylines.
He's the final boss. I don't know. We don't know what that means. So
yeah, Saturday morning Moonraker did a babyface turn. Well, I mean, Jaws was an interesting character, but yeah, he turned. It was because of his little girlfriend.
A live action Moana? Are you serious?
That's right. They are working on something like that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. They can't let nothing just go. Just let stuff, let sleeping dogs lie or something. Yeah. Let it go, man. I wonder how many people didn't know it was the Rock and Moana 2.
I don't know. I mean, I think you could tell it's a distinctive enough voice. Yeah, Marvel fan said Jaws turned good for love. He did.
Because he would do anything for love.
Well, his first appearance was in The Spy Who Loved Me. And that was a funny scene, too, with him tearing the pieces off of the truck. That actor was a big dude. The Jaws. And then he fought the shark. He bit the shark. That was funny.
The final boss is what he currently calls his modern wrestling character. Oh, okay.
Heel bad guy character, wow. To keep dragging him back, and then you know what? Let's bring Ric Flair back too. Let's wheel him out there. Get him on the walker. and get them out there. That some of these guys don't know when to stop.
No. And you wonder if they're really that hard up for cash or what, or they just need
greedy.
that fame and that
adulation.
Yeah, that constant.
I'm sure that's it.
Yeah, because I mean, sad. Man, Ric Flair looked like a mess right now.
Saturday Morning said Jaws is a bad guy again in the James Bond Jr. show. That show doesn't count.
They have a James Bond Jr.
Saturday morning show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny says in Moana, Dwayne Johnson actually sang better than I thought he would. If it was him, you don't know. You don't know. Just like in actually a lot of animated films. Look it up. The person who does the voice acting and the person who sings, not the same person. Yeah. All those Disney musicals, seriously, even Nightmare Before Christmas, the voice actors and the people who sang, two different people. Seriously. So you don't know if it's him for sure. It might be. I don't know. It might be. But there's a chance it probably isn't. David says he had Milky the Marvelous Milking Cow. That was a bottle. That was a board game. You added water and the white powder. The milk was horrible. Don't drink milk from a plastic cow. It was a board game kind of thing, right? Little tactile thing for kids.
Richard Kiel.
That's correct. Richard Kiel was the actor who played Jaws. That is correct. And he had an action figure made by Mego, and it's expensive.
Well, I think when you're an entertainer, period, not just wrestlers, because you see it in all industries. You see it with movie actors, especially musicians. I mean, how many 80-year-old musicians you got coming back to do a final concert? They can't even sing. They're miming the concert.
Yeah, they're lip syncing.
Yeah, some of them don't even lip sync.
No.
Frankie Valli, he just sat there. It was like, dude, you can at least move your mouth.
Yeah, he can't. He doesn't remember.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's the money to hear the screaming fans and to see the arena or the theater,
which was showcased in the film The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke.
Yeah,
that was the point. He just couldn't let it go.
But he needed the money too.
Yeah, he needed the money too. But also, like you saw, the guy knew it. He knew he was falling apart. And he was like, dude, you want me to carry this? And he was like, no, I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah.
And you don't know if he lived or died at the end.
Yeah.
But the starvation for it and the fact that he can't stand being normal. When people would recognize him in the store, he'd get upset.
He'd get mad.
Because he's like, no, I can do this or that. I can't be both.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think a lot of them don't know how to let it go. Funny enough, I was going to mention Honky Tonk Man on Hard Times, and he's selling all of his memorabilia on eBay. And I think his username is No Bumps. Is that correct? I think his username is No Bumps. But Honky Tonk Man on Hard Times and selling all of his personal stuff. So yeah, this is what happens, and this is somebody, again, just like the rest of them, doing the autograph circuits and everything else, but that's not enough money. I spent all that travel time and expense.
Yeah,
you can't make enough. Like when we met the Rock and Roll Express at that one show, there was nobody going to their table
because nobody recognized them.
Yeah, there's nobody going there. I mean, how much can these guys really be making doing autograph sessions?
But you got to think about it. Okay, people like that. Okay, let's say wrestlers from the 80s. Now we're 40 years removed. So that means they're 40 years older.
Yeah.
You remember how they looked in the 80s, and that's what you're expecting. Your mind is expecting to see the person you saw on TV in the 80s, not this old guy
who fell apart because
and he's in a walker and he's in a wheelchair or can barely walk. Then when you see that, you're like, whoa, I don't. That's why I never talked to Sgt Slaughter. I don't even go over there.
Robert wanted to know who played Johnny Depp's father in Pirates of the Caribbean. That would be Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones. Toy Chic, Moana 2 is horrible. It was made for Disney Plus. They decided to take the episodes and smash them into a movie.
Oh,
it's
my.
soulless, but Rock does sing. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you can't be sure. That's what I was suggesting. Sylvan said Sean Connery looked like he could throw and take a punch. Roger Moore came across as more of a playboy. But that's, again, that was his role from The Saint. That's how Roger Moore was in The Saint. But keep in mind that Sean Connery in his heyday was also a minor league bodybuilder. So that's why he was so thick.
Yeah, we see Sgt Slaughter all the time when we go to cons, and he's always in the Sgt Slaughter outfits. He does talk to people and take pictures.
He's a friendly guy.
Yeah, he's very friendly.
Yeah.
He'll wave and say hi and ask if we want to take a picture with him or something like that.
And he has the GI Joe belt.
Yeah,
he has and it's a real one. It's a real one. It looks good.
Yeah, but then I feel so bad. It's like, because I remember one day I walked by his table and he was already standing up, because he walks with those walkers, the ones with the chair. And he was standing by the table, and I was walking past him, and he was like, "Hey, you want to come and take a picture?"
He wanted your toy.
Yeah, he spoke to me. I don't know what he said.
He asked you, you were carrying, that's the time that you were carrying that Batwing, the what was it, the DC exclusive Batwing, the huge one. And he was like, "Is that for me? You're gonna bring that over here?" I remember.
Yeah, I know he said something.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no. And I just kept going, because when you see him again, your mind remembers what you saw in the prime, be it 80s, 90s, whenever. And then to see him with a walker, he's always sitting down. He's in pain. When he does walk, it looked like every step is in excruciating pain. It's just, it's just too much.
You got like when you saw also, who was it? Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon.
He looked really bad.
Whoa, yeah, he looked
really bad.
Very bad. And we saw somebody else real popular, and I didn't even know who he was. I couldn't even recognize his face.
Yeah.
And you told me that was whoever he was, and I'm like,
no,
what?
It can't be. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
And then not Buff Bagwell. What is his? Was it Buff Bagwell? Yeah, Buff Bagwell walking with a cane.
Yeah,
at that one show, and he's not even that old.
We go to a lot of cons and we see a lot of wrestlers, because wrestlers are always there.
Yeah.
And I don't even go over there. I really don't. Because they're always up against the wall. Plus, I don't want to take their picture, because a lot of times they want to charge you for pictures.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't want to film them and have them say something.
Yeah.
Because it's been a couple of times we've been at shows and I'll film a table, and then the person will say, "Can you please not post that?" So then we got to edit their whole part out.
Yeah.
And then we filmed this one guy, and then he had to get all the information for his manager, because we filmed him. And then he was like, "Hey, I got to get all of your information to give to my manager."
I have cards.
Yeah. And we had cards and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of stuff involved, but I don't know who goes to a toy collector show to meet. It sounds like these people are desperate for attention.
I think mostly they need the money. A lot of them are just broke. They didn't save. They lived too hard and fast, and they need the money. That's why Honky Tonk Man's selling his stuff now.
But also, I think the toy show brings those people in to help boost up their credibility or something.
Possibly. And in Sgt Slaughter, I mean, he has jumped the boundary, because he's no longer really. I think when people go there, they're not looking at him so much for the wrestling, because he was up there, but he wasn't in the upper echelon of the wrestlers. He wasn't a jabroni by any means, but he, you could see him in like a top 30 list or something like that of popular 80s wrestlers. But the transition, because of a Raw era G.I. Joe, is what cemented it for him. And I think more people remember him for playing himself in G.I. Joe. And that's what really, you know, does it. Because so he's got both of those worlds coming together. He's really real. He's in G.I. Joe. He was a wrestler, you know, on and on. I think that's what does it for him.
David wants he's going to commission a 1/6 scale Sgt Slaughter. I thought they did that already. Nobody wants to see Virgil. Virgil died bad.
He did.
He died, and I looked it up and I read, and man, he died bad. Very bad. He had like diabetes or something and went blind and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And he died quick. He didn't last long once they found out, you know, he was sick. That was sad. Slaughter loves his role on G.I. Joe and has talked about how happy he was part of it. Yeah, being part of it.
I can imagine. I mean, it's iconic. I think it's bigger. I think it's honestly bigger for him than his wrestling career.
Yeah.
You know?
Like Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman is a bodybuilder, right?
I think so.
Robert, he says it's like Mark Hamill. He always remembers Mark Hamill being 20 years
Luke
old.
Skywalker,
yeah. And I saw something recently why he didn't like taking live action roles and moved to voice acting, because he kept seeing himself as Luke Skywalker, young and all of that, like how he was in the show, and didn't see himself like that after.
Yeah.
So he didn't like taking roles anymore.
And Aaron says, Sgt Slaughter wanted LPH's Batwing. That's funny. Yeah, because the box is massive, and I have the picture of her with it. I mean, because, you know, standing on end, it's like 4.5 feet tall, and she's walking with it like this and looking, because she found a great deal on it. I'm like, oh my God, that was a good price.
Yeah.
But I guess it caught his eye, you know.
Yeah, don't mean anyone. Yeah, you spoil all of your thoughts about that person. I just checked, and Honky Tonk Man is selling one of his jumpsuits
for $12,000.
Whoa!
Somebody might buy it. Who knows? He, you know.
Neighborhood selling his new beer brand at
his
shop. What's the name of the beer?
Real American.
Probably.
That would be awesome. And you get a picture of him with the flag, like from the music video. I am a real American, or with the guitar.
Sitting on the couch together watching. No, I never saw that video. We never saw that video.
No.
So I just probably got the part of G.I. Joe, He-Man, Muscle Action, Scooby-Doo. He has a lot of ties to many IPs. Oh, okay.
Oh, he was a Mario Super Show, they said. Okay. Cemented as G.I. Joe's spokesman. Too bad it didn't work that way for the Fridge. No, Fridge didn't get past the commercial and the free figure. And Fridge, he went out bad too. His career wasn't so great after leaving football either.
After he retired.
Yeah. After he retired.
5-part airing of G.I. Joe the movie, also in the 80s. Oh, okay.
All right. And Blue Splash.
Mr. Olympia, the bodybuilder. He can barely walk. He's done. Yeah. You still managed to get around in a wheelchair with the electric one? Yeah, those bodybuilders, man. Because we watch like the Arnold classics with the bodybuilders, but mainly the Strongman. But those bodybuilders, and sometimes we'll watch like what happened to them. And
bodybuilders don't do well.
Yeah, all of the steroids and stuff that they're on, man, they just. And then a girl died at the last Arnold Classic. She was only 20 years old. She died at the thing on the stage.
Yeah.
And now McFarlane is
re-releasing the Bat Phone,
the Black Plane,
not again.
The Batwing.
Oh, the Batwing.
Same old, cheaper plastic.
I thought he said Bat Phone. I read it wrong.
But he made 2 Batwings, and everybody complained. He already made 2.
Yeah.
And you remember all of the complaints, and we watched the video, and people had to.
People said that the blow mold one made by Walmart was
better. Yeah.
Just repaint it. Yeah. Like, oh my God, that's awful.
That's the name.
Oh, see, Eric Peters said you're correct. Real American beer.
Oh my God. That's a lucky guess.
I get a kudos
You should go
point.
play the lottery.
I get a kudos point. Yeah.
Was booed by wrestling fans when he was trying to promote his.
No.
Really?
What happened was he went. I think it was Los Angeles. He came out in Los Angeles, but that was after he appeared with Trump when he did that thing at you know, that when he was on TV.
Yeah.
And he came out and he spoke on behalf of Trump. Or immediately after that, he was supposed to make an appearance, I think, in Los Angeles. Wrong city for that.
Yeah, and he got booed.
And they gave him a hard time because it's an extremely blue state without getting into all the politics, because we'd rather stay away from that here. But I think that's why they laid into him there. Richard
says that he is holding that flag.
And he's holding the flag. All right.
You'll have to look up Hulk Hogan beer. Yeah, we did that.
And Richard made a donation to the channel. Thank you, Richard. All the help we can get taking care of our show.
He didn't say that was for cats.
Oh, it's got to be for the cats.
GoBots or Rock Lords? David have Rock Lords.
I like the Rock Lords better, but I don't have any GoBots. But I do have some Rock Lords, including some of the gnarlies. Gilgamesh said, watch Strongman competitions. A guy that has the record for deadlift busted blood vessels in his head when he was in the middle of the lift and almost killed him on the spot.
Well, Hafthor
Bjornsson.
I think he's talking about Eddie.
Eddie Hall.
Yeah, because Eddie
Hall
passed
had
out.
A bad nosebleed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said that he took him about 6 months to recover from that.
Yeah. But after that, Hafthor Bjornsson broke the record.
Yeah, broke the record.
I saw that, and I don't think it was fair, but I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah.
But he did break the record, and he has done it again in actual competition.
Yes.
After he had broke the record, because he broke the record during COVID, during the lockdown.
Yeah. So he did it in a room with people wearing masks on camera with the judge having to watch on a screen. And that's why a lot of people were like, come on, Hafthor. Yeah. Seriously?
He had it set up now. He had 1 million cameras. He had the official...
I'm sure he didn't cheat, but still,
it just didn't look right.
Yeah.
He had the official weight machine, and he showed you weighing each and every weight and the bar and everything. But it just looked weird because of how it was done. But since he did break the record during competition.
Oh, and Richard said it is for kitties. Thank you, Richard. Hey, I love them all. I enjoy taking care of them. Marty, makeup artist.
But Marty had to put down that
another
it's for
donation
the
cats. for the kitties to keep them well fed. Thank you so much for that. No, I appreciate it, because I enjoy helping them and I enjoy taking care of them. And I really enjoy when we have a big success story like Hobo.
Yeah.
Where even the vet's telling you they're going to die. Just put them down. And I'm like, no. And now he's this happy little fat monster.
Big fat self. All he want to do is eat with no teeth. So we got to give him mashed up food. But he is a sweetheart, though.
He is. He really is.
And he tries to eat that food. He looks so sorry. He's trying to eat that meat.
Or whatever we give him, yeah.
He tried.
But
he can't do it. So you got to give him like a lot of juice.
Yeah.
So he can at least drink it.
But yeah, he's a designated porch cat. I don't think he's moved from that porch for 2 years.
No.
He just, that's it. He knows that's his place and he's happy right there. It is, safe and happy and secure. And old dad too.
Yeah.
His dad is another one that they were like, oh, tumor, he ain't gonna make it. But now he's like this happy little ball of fluff, and his fur is all it doesn't look like a wet carpet anymore. It's got a shine to it. Hobo,
it's all sun bleached.
Hobo, you couldn't even tell he was orange until
he was so dirty.
Yeah, he was so has so many scabs and everything on him. Poor guy. But yeah, he's great now.
Any collection tours? Yeah,
we do have some guests coming. Pixel Dan is up in the air because it depends on how things go with the show and how fast he has to get back to his flight. We do have a guy coming from Canada to film with the channel, and not at this show, but at the next one, which I think is the Joe Fest, when what is his name? When Motu Joe comes back, he wants to come. He couldn't come last time because of the biomat fire, and they had to evacuate the building. But
Thank you, Stone Sour.
And Stonewall says Hobo specifically.
Oh, whatever.
Hobo, how can you not love Hobo?
Yeah, but we do get soft food for him, and this big old roll of mashed up
machined chicken.
Ugh.
It's like liquid. It's
like pate.
Yeah,
but
disgusting.
It's perfect for him.
He loves it
because
he loves it.
It's like pureed chicken,
and he just like lays across the bowl and puts his face in there and just licks it and licks it and licks it, and it's like, oh, okay, you just enjoy that, buddy. You just enjoy that.
GoBots, Transformers, and Robotech all had big screen movies that came out 40 years ago.
God, and they're making us feel old. No, cats cannot have dentures or implants.
Dumbbells and action figures.
Yep. Blue Splash.
Yeah.
And
but we love watching our Strongman though, and we watch that. And I always say every year, "Oh, I'm going to the Arnold Classics. I'm going to."
And then we don't realize when it's coming up.
Yeah, I know it comes up in March, and then I'll forget about it.
Strong man, strong woman.
Yeah, and the strong women are good too now.
Unlike the WNBA, it's a female sport people actually want to see.
Yeah,
because it is really interesting watching them compete with that.
Yeah. And those women, man, some of them throw you for a loop because you will see them. You're like, oh man, she just some big fat woman.
Some of them look some of them look
very stocky. Yeah.
Some of them look very feminine, and some of them they look kind of sloppy, and you would think they're just a schlep.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, you just picked up a 400-pound dumbbell.
Yeah.
Johnny wants to know if we remember specific bike. I could not have a bicycle when I was a kid, Johnny.
I had a Huffy bike. I think I know that's one of the ones I had. I think all my bikes were Huffy bikes. Would you love Tom Plant's video? I don't know who that is.
He thinks we would love Tom Platz's videos. He was a bodybuilder, right?
Oh, yeah. Was he?
But yeah, I was not allowed to have a bicycle, so I don't know if she remembers any. I didn't have
Huffy.
I didn't have a bicycle until I was an adult, and I had to do it on teach myself how to ride it, and take it from there. And I don't remember what kind of bike that is or was.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I had a million bikes, and I know one of them was a Huffy. I don't know, probably all of them, because Huffy was a big name brand bike.
You needed a big banana seat with sissy bars.
I had the PV Herman bike one time.
Oh no,
I did
with the basket.
It didn't have the basket, but it was that red one, that red and white one with the little fender on it. I had that.
Okay. Aaron remembers a Mongoose BMX with the little foot spokes on the tires so that you can try to do tricks.
And then you can ride people on the handlebars.
You ain't supposed to do that.
Yeah, but you do. Or you ride people on the back. You can get 3 people on that bike.
Oh no!
One on the front,
circus?
One on the front, one in the. If you got to be somewhere, you got to go somewhere. You get on that bike. Oh yeah, Schwinn. That's right, Schwinn. It was between those two. Can't remember the name, but I remember riding my bike, then looking down at the handlebars are going under me.
Oh yeah, shame.
You flipped the bike.
Oh no. Oh no. But yeah, I always liked the Rock Lords a little bit better. But I would, if I could find sets of carded GoBots, I would go for it. I would go for it.
For a set of GoBots?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
GoBots, sure. I would do GoBots. They're cheaper than the Transformers for
yeah?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah. They are cheaper than the Transformers.
They're under $100?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm not up on my GoBots prices.
Oh, Robert had a gold Schwinn Stingray.
It was stolen. And Johnny, I seen 3 kids on a bike, one on handlebars standing and one seated with their feet out. See? Shouldn't do it. Shouldn't do it.
That's what you do right there.
But we're going to go ahead and start wrapping things up. I wanted to give a special thanks really quick to a few people there that made donations and helped out our cat fund. That was Pastor Rick, Johnny Future, Richard, Marty Makeup, and of course Stone Sour all made donations today for the cat fund. Really appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
And so we'll go ahead and start to wrap things up here.
Yes.
Oh, you have to put that up
I
there?
just wanted so people can see.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we thank every one of you. Thank you for taking the time out. Yeah, taking the time out of your schedule and hanging out with us and just having a good time chit-chatting.
Yeah. And
talking about toys and movies and wrestlers and stuff like that.
And so we'll see if we get a chance to do that again sometime soon. And of course, we do have the big Toylantis show coming up, and I'm gonna get in early. They're gonna let me in early to film it live again. So a live walkthrough. I'll do the best I can before they open the doors because it's going to be a big show. So thanks everybody, and we'll catch you again sometime soon.